Welcome to Fix It Home Improvement, covering projects that every homeowner should know and great products for home and garden.
Hi, I'm JC, and this is where we share weekly home improvement tips. I'm here with my co-host, Cindy.
Hello, JC.
Hi, Cindy. This week we're going to be talking about bathroom vanities, and we'd like to thank Ali Mantinas for liking and sharing the podcast. The first bathroom vanities were tables with a bowl on top, no drain, and you had a pitcher to pour water into the bowl, and then you'd wash your hands in that water, or you'd use a washcloth to wash your face and your upper body. And before bathrooms, you'd have a small table or a cabinet in your bedroom, and that's where you would have your wash basin and a pitcher. And wealthy homeowners had very elaborate decorated bowls and pitchers, and then they would have another pail that they would pour that dirty water into, and then they would throw it outside. If you're replacing your bathroom vanity, this is a good time to update the paint in the bathroom and some accessories. Many of the vanities now come with matching mirrors, medicine cabinets, and lights. And if you have an older home, this is a great time to replace the faucet, supply lines, the old shut-off valves, and drain pipe.
Mm-hmm. Where did you pick up those cards that you got this week?
Those were from Lowe's.
So it shows you like what a finished bathroom would look like, all the stuff that matches.
Yeah, they've got some great design ideas.
So it's easy though.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to think. It's just like, if you like this look, here's the stuff.
Right. Yeah, goof-proof design.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are shopping at the home centers, most of the vanities now are pre-built, so it's very easy to set it up once you get home. The problem is, how do you get that big box home?
Right.
So I went to our local Home Depot, and it's $19 to rent one of their trucks for 75 minutes. At Lowe's, it was $19 for 90 minutes. And when I was investing in real estate, we would get knockdown cabinets. So we'd run to Builder Square, Handy Andy. They were flat in a box, so it was very easy to transport them. But the vanities that I could afford at the time were very inexpensive. They had particle board panels, and you had to be very careful assembling them so that you didn't strip out the screw holes, and then you hoped all the parts were in the box and would actually fit together squarely. You can get a cabinet that comes with a top or without the top. Home Depot, for example, has about 10,000 vanities that come with the top, 1,500 without the top. Menards has about 4,000 with the top, about 1,300 without the top. You can get single sink vanities, large or small, double sink vanities, and this is a nice upgrade for your bathroom for convenience or resale value. Although with the double sink, sometimes you have less counter space depending on how wide it is. You can get a vessel sink top, and it comes in a bunch of different shapes, but you need a special faucet that's going to reach over the top edge of that bowl. You can get cabinets with an open shelf design on the bottom for storage and decorative accents. There are wall-hung or floating vanities, and these hang on a bracket, and the bottom's completely open for a modern look. Pretty interesting looking. You can also get...
What are you supposed to put under there then?
Slippers. You can also get corner vanities, and you should take a look at some of these modular matching wall and floor cabinets that you can connect to the vanities, so they're the same design and the same look. So now you can add storage on one side or both sides of a vanity, or you can put like the storage cabinets in between two vanities, so you can really mix and match and create a very unique...
How big is your bathroom?
Right, but if you have the room for like a double bowl vanity, you can really get a custom built-in look without the expense now.
Cool.
At the home center, if they don't have in stock the shape or the colors you like, you can special order the style, the size, the top, and any add-on pieces, and they'll order it from the manufacturer. And a couple of the salespeople I spoke to says it usually only takes about a week or so to get these in. So when you're comparing vanities, I would look for features like slow closing hinges, self-closing drawers, adjustable shelves, toe kicks versus legs, the look you like, adjustable hinges, full extension glides for the drawers. This way they open all the way, so you can reach all the way to the back of the drawer. Some now have built-in electrical strips, so when you open the drawer or a cabinet door, you'll have places to plug in your razor or charge your phone. There's trays with dividers now. You should also look for heat and moisture-resistant vanities, and then compare the warranties. Some of them have a lifetime warranty.
Oh, really?
Drawers that are held together with wood dowels are good. Dovetail drawers are better in quality. They have interlocking triangular shapes at the corners that are held together with glue, so they don't need any fasteners. And furniture with dovetail joints were discovered in tombs in ancient Egypt, And you know, the first plywood-type panels were also found in ancient Egypt.
Wow.
They would use a thin piece of high-quality wood and glue it to layers of lower-quality wood to make strong panels because they didn't have a lot of wood available.
In the desert?
Right. And they had glue back then. How cool is that?
Super cool.
The cabinets can be made from solid wood, plywood, MDF, or particle board, and particle board is going to be the least expensive. They use small wood particles or even sawdust and glue. It's heated and pressed into shapes. You definitely don't want to get particle board wet. MDF is medium density fiber board, so these are small pieces of wood fiber, waxes, and resins that are heated and pressed into panels. This is going to be denser and stronger than particle board. It's less expensive than solid wood, and they're using recycled wood, so you're not cutting down trees for this. It's smooth, it paints well, it doesn't expand and contract like solid wood, and MDF can be shaped to create very intricate designs in the panels, and you can also have thin wood veneers over it so it looks like solid wood, but you don't want to expose this to water either.
Okay.
All wood products can release small amounts of formaldehyde. It naturally occurs in wood, but the problem with MDF and other composite wood panels has been the glues containing formaldehyde, and these are some of the best glues you can get. So the new standards have reduced the amount of formaldehyde gas. I would look for CARB-compliant products, or ULEF. It's the ultra-low emitting formaldehyde products.
Well,
or
what does CARB mean?
CARB is the California Air Resources Board. So if it's CARB compliant, it's going to have a standard for how much vapor can be released. NAF is no added formaldehyde, and ESP is the Environmental Stewardship Program. They use 80 to 100% CARB compliant pressed wood in those products.
Okay.
Researchers say that if you have a sensitivity to VOCs to increase ventilation in your house and add air filtering plants. So NASA says that the English ivy is one of the best air filtering plants you can have in your home, and it's great at absorbing formaldehyde.
Exciting.
In 1867, a German chemist discovered formaldehyde and found it was a great preservative, and then it quickly replaced arsenic as the preferred embalming fluid because people were concerned about arsenic getting into drinking water.
Go figure.
The National Kitchen and Bath Association says that MDF in general is going to give off more formaldehyde fumes than plywood or solid wood. And with plywood construction to the cabinet box, this is a step up from MDF. Plywood is going to hold screws and fasteners much better than MDF, and plywood panels are going to be lighter. And if you see furniture-grade construction, it means that they're using plywood for the cabinet.
Okay.
The solid wood doors and solid wood fronts to the drawers are considered the best unless you're going with painted doors. Then a lot of pros say that MDF will have less cracked paint in the seams. So if you have a frame and panel style door or drawers, MDF is going to be less expensive, and it doesn't expand and contract. Like, let's say you have, a 5-piece door. So you've got a top and a bottom rail, and the sides are your stiles, and then you have that panel in the center.
Okay.
So you have 5 pieces. If you have standard wood and it's painted, it tends to expand and contract, especially in the bathroom, and you'll get cracks in the paint. Where MDF is one piece that's shaped to look like a panel door, and so it's always going to look perfect. Many of the bathroom vanity tops I've seen are two-tone, so you've got a color or a pattern for the countertop, and then the bowl is white, so it gives that look of an undermount sink. You can get trough sinks, so they're very thick, and it gives the look of an old-fashioned sink. You can get farmhouse or apron sinks, so these extend past the front of the vanity for a country look.
So you can get that for the bathroom, too?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of wild looking, but you need a special cabinet design for that type of sink.
Just like in the kitchen?
Right, yeah. You can get integrated bowls, so they're part of the countertop. They have a very smooth one-piece look. And then vessel sinks are sitting on top of a completely flat countertop. So the countertop's going to be one piece with a hole for the drain and one or more holes for the faucet. And with the bowls, you can get a standard bowl that's fairly high. They can be like 8 inches high.
Wow.
Or you can get semi-recessed bowls that aren't as high.
I don't really understand this look, do you?
Well, it's a throwback to the, like the old style, bowl in a pitcher where you watch
right,
your...
but we've improved it.
You can also have drop-in or self-rimming sinks that's set on top of the counter, so there's going to be an edge. And the problem with that, this is kind of an older style, stuff can get caught in that seam. The countertops can come in a range of material. Cultured marble is stone particles and stone dust. They blend it with resins, so you're creating a countertop that looks like stone. And the early cultured marble countertops, they primarily used limestone, which was very heavy. It was prone to cracking. And if you used an oil-based plumber's putty on your main drain pipe, it could cause dark stains and even crack the material. So manufacturers are going away from the term cultured marble and calling it engineered stone. So now they're using better stone and resins. The countertops are lighter and stronger. They look more expensive, and you don't have to seal a cultured marble countertop.
Okay.
Quartz countertops are generally ground quartz, but they can have other types of stone in there, even metal or glass. It's held together with resins. Sometimes they'll add coloration to it, so you can get a wide range of looks. They're very durable. They don't need to be sealed. Solid surface countertops come in a wide range of formulas too. This is primarily crushed minerals. And what's interesting about the solid surface countertops is scratches can be sanded out. They're very durable and they don't need a sealer. Laminates are easy to maintain. They're easy to clean, usually less expensive. Solid stone countertops like granite, very durable, usually a little more expensive. And you need to seal these. So if you get a pre-sealed countertop, it's going to be the easiest for installation, but you're going to have more maintenance on a solid stone. And if you're buying a vanity with the top, granite, engineered stone, and solid surface are going to be the most popular. When you're planning on the type of vanity you want, think about the whole space. Many of the older homes have vanities butted up against a wall or filling a wall. And sometimes just by putting in a smaller vanity, it can give you an area to keep a trash can, add shelving, or a wall unit for more storage. And if you do plan on going up to a wall, how far past the vanity is the countertop going? You may have to get a filler strip to block that space between the wall and the cabinet.
Right.
Or think about getting a countertop that's flush with the sides. Bath vanities can range from 12 to 90 inches wide or wider. 24, 30, 36, 48, 60, and 72 are pretty standard sizes.
That's a lot of numbers.
And in most homes, the average height has been 31 to 32 inches from the floor to the countertop, but 36 inches tall is becoming more popular. 88.
Like my parents haven't redone their bathroom in 20 years.
Okay.
So their vanity, I measured it this week, was 31 inches high.
So pretty standard.
Right, but like mine here is like 35 inches high.
Right.
So when I go and visit them, I feel very tall. And it's like, look at
So you wish
tiny...
yours was smaller?
No, I'm used to it now, and I think it looks nice.
Yeah, people are more comfortable with the taller ones, so it's becoming more popular in new construction.
When my parents had the addition put onto their house for Grandma to go live there,
Okay.
that vanity is 35 inches high.
Interesting.
So she walks with a walker, so it was easier for her to lean against that instead of a lower one.
Right. Well, the ADA recommends a minimum of 29 inches and a max of 34 inches. The National Bath and Kitchen Association recommends 32 to 43 inches high. For the depth, 17 to 24 inches is common. 18 and 21 inches deep are probably the most popular. And if you have a small bathroom and want it to feel roomier or look more balanced, a more narrow cabinet and a standard-sized toilet is going to give you more floor space. If you're changing the vanity's height or width, some things you want to think about is where is the placement of electrical outlets and switches? What's the distance to the toilet, a tub, a shower, or to a wall? Because if you're putting a vanity next to a wall, the recommended distance is 20 inches or more from the center of the sink drain to the wall.
Okay.
And the minimum code distance is 15 inches. The minimum distance from the center of the toilet bowl to a cabinet is 15 inches on each side. And recommended floor space in front of your cabinet is 30 inches or more. The minimum is 21 inches. If you plan on having two sinks, will it be in one vanity or two vanities separated by a wall or floor unit so you can have more storage? And then where is the main drain pipe going into the wall? What's the most convenient place for your sink so your drain pipe can go from the bowl straight into the main drain? If you plan on going from one sink to two sinks, what will the spacing be and how will you run the drain pipe? So you can use one trap as long as one sink isn't more than 6 inches deeper than the other and the center of the sink drains aren't more than 30 inches apart.
Okay.
And if they are more than 30 inches apart, then you're going to need individual traps for each sink. But I would check my local code if I'm going from one sink to two sinks. And if you're connecting two sinks to one trap, you're going to be going from that 1.25" main pipe that's coming out of the sink, and you're going to adapt that to 1.5" drain pipe kits. So that's what you're generally using for a kitchen sink.
Okay.
And then you're going to go to a stub out, which should be 1.5". And then if they had an existing 1.25" trap adapter there that's going down to 1.25", you're going to have to see whether they're just using a washer or you might have to change that adapter.
Okay.
If you have two traps, each sink with a trap, the main pipe coming out of the sink is going to be 1.25", and then you're going to go down to 1.25" drain pipe, and then at that stub out or the main pipe coming out of the wall, you'll go to an 1.5" Y adapter so each can go into it. To remove the old vanity and top, you want to turn off the shutoff valves, open up the faucet, remove the supply lines. I'd put a pan underneath the valves. You're going to remove the trap from the drain pipe, pour out the water. And to remove the top, it's going to be siliconed or caulked from the top to the vanity. It also could have silicone against the wall. So I would use a razor knife if it's any silicone on the wall, and then either a putty knife or a razor knife between the top and the vanity. Once you cut through the old silicone, you can pull off the top. To remove the old vanity, there's usually going to be a screw or two on the top rail inside of it holding it to a stud. To put the new vanity in place, use a level front to back and side to side. Shim it if needed, and I would use plastic shims rather than wood for the bathroom water and moisture. And then put a couple of screws in the top rail in the back, or check your installation instructions. Usually they want you to catch at least one stud. If there's no studs available, you're going to want to use wall anchors. I would also install the faucet and the main drain in the sink before I put it on top of the cabinet. It's much easier to put those together rather than being tucked underneath the cabinet. When you're picking the pop-up or the main drain that's going into the bathroom sink, you want to check to see whether your sink has an overflow or not. If your sink has an overflow, you'll get a pop-up with a hole in it so that the water can flow through that. If you don't have an overflow, you'll get a pop-up with no hole in it. You also need plumber's putty. Most of the main drains still use plumber's putty as your gasket.
Okay.
And it's good to get stain-free plumber's putty. Like we talked about the cultured marble.
Right.
If you use the old oil-based plumber's putty, it can damage it. And traditional plumber's putty can still damage any soft material or plastic. So if you get stain-free or no-stain plumber's putty, you can use that on any project. You can also put plumber's putty under the faucet deck plate if you have one large plate, or if you have individual handles and individual spout. Let's say you have 3 pieces. You can put plumber's putty under each piece, and that's going to prevent water from getting into the cabinet and potentially damaging your cabinet.
Okay.
When you're setting your countertop on top of the vanity, use 100% silicone or Lexel to hold them together. I like the clear products because it doesn't draw any attention to it if you over-apply it. And then let this dry 24 hours before you use it. That way it's fully cured. I have some top-rated vanity companies.
Okay.
Legion Furniture, Simply Home, and it's Simpli. Ronbow, it's Ronbow. Virtue, Virtu. Westport Bay, Allen and Roth, Scott Living. And if you're shopping online or you want to get some ideas, Kohler, Wayfair, and Pottery Barn.
Do you have anything else to add?
I would measure the space in front of the cabinet and the space to the toilet, the tub, the shower, the walls to create a very balanced look that's comfortable to use. And then think about adding wall or floor cabinets for more storage. It's really interesting, all of the modular units they have now.
Right. Let's wrap this up.
You can subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, CastBox, Player FM, or your favorite podcast app.
If you enjoyed it, please leave us a review.
You can check out our home improvement videos on our YouTube channel, Fix It Home Improvement.
And you can subscribe to that as well.
You can download our books, Home Improvement Solutions, What Every Homeowner Should Know, on Amazon.
If you enjoyed it, please leave us a 5-star rating and review.
You can email us at fixitpodcast@gmail.com, and you can follow Cindy on Twitter at FixItCohost.
Thank you for listening.
Talk to you next week.